Good day and welcome to another exciting moment on your favorite sports show, TV360 SPORTS. We want to say a big thank you to all our viewers across the globe who have been sending message on all our platforms to be part of this wonderful moment on the show. We received messages at the last edition of the program that was dwelling on table tennis. This time around, we'll be shifting away from table tennis and we're talking about women's football and a special focus on the Super Falcons. I have someone in the house who will help us analyze what's going on in the Super Falcons. And if you're joining us for the first time, thank you so much for our regular callers. My name is Mudashiru Shitu, and I will definitely be giving you all the questions that relate to the Super Falcons, the NFF and the Oparanozie saga. Also talking about the need for foreign coach, and there's of recent the increase in invitation extended to foreign-based players to the Super Falcons. All this we'll be looking at today, and I have no other than Moses Bako, who is a women football advocate. He has spent so much of time knowing about the women football before they become international, from the age grade to the international level. Good afternoon, Moses.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Yes, let's go straight to what I've been trending in the past few weeks, and that's to do with should I use the word omission on a deliberate the invitation that wasn't extended to Desire Okpanoze. I was excluded from the team that just won the women's Turkish club. A lot of stakeholders have been pointing to the fact of his sit-down protest she did with some other colleagues in France at the World Cup, while the NFF has responded that it is not because of that. It is not because she's advocating for the payment of the bonus being owed by the NFF. A woman advocate you are. Tell us your point of view and what is going on between NFF and Oparanozie.
Thank you so much. Well, I think this shouldn't be a surprise to us all. We've seen things like this happen in the past where the NFF don't come out straight to tell the world exactly what is happening. But the truth still remains that we all know that the excuse NFF gave was so ridiculous. When I read that NFF said she was not informed, then I asked myself, if she's not informed, those who have not been playing for the past 1 year, how do you judge it? How do you put it together? You know, but the truth still remains that it is obvious that it was all because of the sit-out protest that happened that made it to be like that. That is why she was not called for this tournament.
Yeah, still on that topic, what do you think? They also said that you get an invitation in the next tournament being played, or the next game that the Super Falcons will do. Do you believe that if they extend the extension of invitation to her, do you think that has buttressed their reason for omitting her in the Women Turkish Club if they extend the invitation to her in the next match or qualifiers the Super Falcons will have?
The invitation, they said, according to them, was she will be invited in the future. That word future is ambiguous. It can be now, it can be later. And I say, what is Oparanozie's future? It's already in her future. Is it when she's going to be a grandmother, you call her back to the team? I think there's no need. She has done her best. She has given her best to Nigeria. She should just take it the way it has come and move on with her life. She's doing well with her club. She has played some series of game and scored some wonderful goals.
Let's not go straight to this. If there's going to be a settlement, do you think Oparanozie should apologize, or you think some stakeholders should come on her behalf And because I think the Super Falcons still need a service, or they should come together, the stakeholders should come together and plead on our behalf, or we should just let sleeping dogs lie.
To me, I don't see for her to apologize. She has made her point. It's and let the authorities also know it has happened that way. She just said what she felt is necessary. She should be respected for that, and not just tactically withdraw her from the national team. And let's us just allow sleeping dogs to lie. There is no need for that. Just like I said, even those who are there now, I don't see, if we are to be realistic with ourselves, in the nearest future, most of them will not be playing in the Super Falcons. So we should be having a new or a reformed Super Falcons soon.
Okay, we know that that is not the proper way to end an illustrious career. Let me ask you this
Yes.
before we go further. I see that Oshuala and the rest, because in that statement, NFF said that there are other players involved, and it's true there are other players involved. Why was there not a solidarity from the other players as regards to our omission from the list?
It's quite unfortunate it didn't happen, but that is what we get in Nigeria naturally. Um, uh, some are not, some who are involved are not punished. Then you don't get to see some of the players coming together. If you watch very the what's it called, the last World Cup, you could easily know that there were some problems of unity among the players. A lot of things actually played out. We saw that a lot of them have not come together with one voice.
That's we'll go on this quick break, and when we come back, we still have Paco, the women's advocate. He is also the CEO of Soccer Queen. He is so much dedicated, a good part of his life, to women football and the development in Nigeria. Don't go away. It's still 360 Sports. Welcome back, and it's been an exciting moment on the first segment of the program with Bako, who is the advocate of women's soccer in Nigeria. We've been having a nice discussion with him, and definitely we'll start from where we kick up from where we started from. And still on the foreign coach, Moses. Sir, it's good to still have you, and I also want you. Like you said, the response to whether we should have a foreign coach is a yes or no. But let me also remind you before you go further that the reason why Thomas Dennerby, the former coach, was brought in was to do what the other local coach could not do. And that has to be with the World Cup and foreign international stage. Dennerby couldn't do that. What do you think is the reason why a lot of people have failed in international football with the Super Falcons?
Well, there are a lot of reasons if we are to look into the issue of our national teams. Now, taking the Super Falcons out alone and looking at them very well, you will see that over the years, the coaches who have taken us to the competitions, let's look at there have been inconsistency in so many things. For example, the NFF. Now we have just finished a friendly now. Our prayer is that we get another one very soon when the window exists. If not, we will not be doing anything till next year, probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks to a competition. And that has been a big problem over the years that we cannot move forward.
Yeah, well said. Now, to our last question, and it has to do with a steady trend in the increase of inviting players that has dual nationality but not based in Nigeria, what we want to call them as a foreign base. For example, Patricia George and the rest of them, Tony Payne, and the rest in the past, Cotton DK. These are key players that not based here, but because they are by obligation of both parents or one of the parents being in Nigeria, they get invited to the Super Falcons or to the Flamingos, as the case may be. This increase in inviting these players down to Nigeria, is it going to end up like the way the Super Eagles at all means try to get players from abroad? What do you think is the consequences of a sort of subtle way of neglecting the local based players that have gotten us to this level? What can you say about this trend now?
Well, in as much as we get to know some of these players through this invitation, because to be candid with you, I know so many that are trying to play for this. Choma Ubagogu, Evelyn EJ from Sweden, Andre Okene, Mabel Okoye, just to mention a few of them that would like to come and play for Nigeria. But I think the major problem it will have on us is that the local coaches, the local players here rather, will not get the call up they need to get. And before now, we have had the bulk of the national team players from our local league. And if this increase continues, it might affect the players in the local league. The NWFL will not produce as much as they need to get in the national team.
Should we encourage the extension of the invitation, or we should just leave it the way it is, and the local players might not have the right or to the Super Falcons? I didn't get a response.
I will say let us I will say let us try and strike a balance. A balance in the sense that now the players to fight, will fight for that. They will fight for a place in the Super Falcons. We should also be thinking of how we have done enough in Africa. All we need to do now is to get into the world setting. We should be talking about getting into a semi-final, into the final of the World Cup. Nigeria has done enough winning so many trophies in Africa. We used to joke when we travel for African Cup of Women Cup of Nations. No more African Cup of Nations, Cup of Nations, because we own it. We've done enough. We've done enough. So we should move forward and see if those girls that are going to be injected are going to also help. Let us have a balance. Let's try and strike a balance and bring some of our players, and where we need the foreign based, we should inject them.
Yeah, well, sir, but don't you fear that it might, if you strike a balance, it might end up going the way the Super Eagles are right now, where the coach is saying that the best legs are not in the local league? If this trend continues in the Super Falcons?
That's a dicey one, but the truth still remains that the NWFL, we just need one or two encouragements, and probably if they bring in foreign players, it's just for the local players to also stand up, unless or otherwise the foreign based the foreign coaches refuse to turn their radar to the local league. I remember Dened was going round. He was in Nasarawa, he was in Lokoja, he was in one or two more centers before he left. What he was trying to do was to see the local players. And if you look at it, that is where he got Glory Okuna from. And she's doing well now in the Super Falcons.
Okay, let's say lastly on the tourist program, what advice will you give Randy Waldrum, the coach of the Super Falcons, in his sojourn? He won a trophy that albeit is a friendly trophy. What advice are you going to give the coach of the Super Falcons?
Well, he has. Let me first of all tell him congratulations wherever he is now. Let me congratulate him for coming and his first assignment. He got a trophy for Nigeria, and I will also want to tell him to find a way to beam his radar to the local league. Keep a standard. Work with the assistants he has. You see, we have two great assistant coaches working with him. If you work closely with them, they are very, very good matured coaches. Then he should also do all he can to be looking at how Nigeria will match up with the big countries in the world. Uh, Talking about football, talking about women football. I will advise him to keep his head straight. He should work, have a tight cooperation with the assistant coaches, and also see that he does not in any way take away the local players if he knows that they measure up to those who are going to be invited, foreign based players that are going to be invited.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Paco. Thank you very much for being part of today's show.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I appreciate.
Yes, that's Moses Paco. He is the CEO of Soccer Queens. He's also an advocate of women football. He has spent a good part of his life to advocate for the development of women football in Nigeria. Yet it's so that time has left us. We have few more minutes to go on to this program, and I'm going to say a big thank you for those that have been part of the show. I also want to say thank you for those that work behind the scene to make 360 a very special edition every week when we come to the front of your devices. So yes, this is all I could take on today's program. Same time next week, we'll give you all what you know, all what you need to know in the world of sport. And don't forget, every time, follow us on all our social media platforms to continue the discussion. Bye for now.